the southern defenses of Tripoli. Even though France and other Western countries officially back the Libyan government, some have supported Haftar as they see him as a bulwark against the Islamist militia and trapped thousands of migrants in detention centers. Well, let's cross over to CGTN's Adel Mahroui. He's standing by for us in Cairo. Adel, you know.
Well, the LNA forces led by Khalifa Haftar are still appearing to be persistent to move forward to LNA forces, the forces that supports the government of national accord supported by the United Nations, try to push them away back. So this has actually been the case for supporting allies, the Islamic militias that supports the government of national accord, try to push him back. But while this is happening, casualties are getting higher, sources from the GNA side and the other way around. So both sides are claiming that they are making progress, whether it's their defense in case of the GNA forces by Khalifa Haftar. Lately, he is determined to continue his military operation to completely eradicate all Islamic militias from Tripoli. He has give them a pardon and they will not be held accountable. This is according to his own regards or his own statement. But still, the GNA forces believe that they can have a stronger that is leading, is turning Libya again into civil war, which may be deadly for everyone.
Well, that is the worrying situation, Adel, because Commander Haftar has ruled out a ceasefire in the battle for Tripoli.
Haftar believes that what he is leading is the salvation for the crisis in Libya. He accuses Faiz al-Sarraj of and the rival for regional powers that support General Khalifa Haftar as well. And therefore it's a battle between Haftar's forces and the Islamic militias basically, and has been maintaining and leading some political efforts internationally that has successfully managed to bring down the tone of support, like for France example, that seems quite persistent to march forward until he controls the entire capital of Libya. And once he does that, he believes that this will be a major breakthrough and really falls into his hand, then he will bring back President Gaddafi's regime to full power. He will not hand in the power to a civilian government, and it only fueling the fighting. And as you said, it's very alarming.
Quite alarming there. But what can we expect, though, in coming days, Adel? And is there anything that can be done to stop the...
Raj's side, the Western government, he wants Haftar not just to cease fire, he wants Haftar to retreat from all the advances he has made and since he announced his war. And there's also a completely loss in trust between both sides. Faiz al-Sarraj does not and will not trust any committee, or at least his supporting eastern government in Tripoli has released arrest warrants for Faiz al-Sarraj and key members of his military staff and Islamist politicians other side. So this is mainly a war about survival for both parties, for Haftar to continue control over the rest of the Libyan territories and for the West to maintain what we're seeing so far, that there will be any kind of ceasefire soon.
Adel Mahroui with that update on Libya, joining us there from Cairo. Thank you. The Malawi electoral High Court barring it from announcing the results. The MCP, which fielded Lazarus Chakwera as a presidential candidate, wants the commission to verify results from a section of regions secured 62 seats. MCP has 55, while independent members of parliament also have 55 seats. The presidential results will be released once the court rules on the complaints raised.
Received a number of queries regarding parliamentary elections, and they have been attended to. There are concerns from political parties, or any concerns among political parties and candidates about the results. They are entitled to file petitions in the High Court within 7 days, as from proceeding with announcement of presidential results. The Commission will wait for this process to be concluded before announcing.
Egypt has vowed to support a political transition in Sudan that fulfills the aspirations of the Sudanese people. The announcement came from President El-Sisi on Sunday. The meeting reflects the support Burhan enjoys in Cairo. It also comes 2 days before calls for a national strike in Sudan. Adel Mahroui has more on that story.
Support. It's Abdel Fattah Burhan's first visit to the Egyptian capital. Here, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, his foreign minister and chief of intelligence, have held intensive talks about the political instability
between the military council and the opposition powers, calling for change in order to lead Sudan in a more secure and stable situation. Security in Sudan and protection of their own.
Cairo has reflected confidence in the Transitional Military Council to lead a desirable transition in Sudan. Burhan's trip is part of a regional
to arrest and send back all Egyptians wanted by security institutions. A demand al-Bashir has been reluctant to grant Sisi, which has made Sudan a safe haven for more.
Still ahead on the program. Addis Ababa Riverside gets a $1 billion facelift.
To the country.
With a dedicated and diverse team of anchors, CGTN now brings Africa to the palm of your hand. Powerful figures. We bring their voices to you.
We haven't changed.
And this is something most of us are very excited about.
We bring you news that brings Africa to the world. CGTN. See the difference. Africa Live. Find your voice.
A government-sponsored beautification project aims to transform the city. The project, dubbed Beautifying Sheger, will set up infrastructure. The project will cost Ethiopians just over $1 billion. CGTN's Girum Chala has more.
When works at the project come to an end in Africa and the world, the initiative of Beautifying Sheger is the brainchild of Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed.
The main objective of the elements, number one, it's related to ensuring that citizens and dwellers of Addis Ababa live a dignified life, and a hub for Africa, as well as is becoming an international hub as well. It's important to ensure that the city reflects, its name, Addis Ababa, New Flower as well.
56 kilometers of the city's riverside. Going by a fundraising dinner hosted by Prime Minister Abiy, the support is 6 kilometers. The Chinese government has pledged to develop 12 kilometers. Governments and UN agencies such as UN Habitat are also
I believe this is a wonderful project, especially after it is completed as per the plan. I heard it will have parks that will save young people from wasting their time in harmful places.
It will be a comfortable city to live in.
It is brilliant. It's because the rovers in Addis Ababa are dangerous.
And disorganized look of Addis Ababa will soon be history and will be replaced by world-class riverside infrastructure, image of not only the city but also the image of the entire country. The branding of Addis Ababa for an increased tourist numbers will have one more but important supporting factor too.
And in the heart of the Ivorian capital, Abidjan, hides Abobobole, said to be the most beautiful village in Côte d'Ivoire. The village appeals to many due to its
named the City of Grace. When one arrives here, you are immediately amazed by the landscape. Well-maintained streets with blossoming flowers.
Every day to maintain our lawns, plants, flowers and public places. During the rainy season, it must be done every day because, as you can see, the grass grows very fast.
These resources are from the population because all of us participate in the life of the village. With regard to finances, we have implemented a payment policy for certain deeds relating to our land assets. From this account that we buy supplies to build our village.
The village has its own internal security system, a school, health.
We have a major challenge. It's the flooding of this part of the village during the rainy season. Indeed, the storm basin designed to help us. It will be a blessing for the village.
Located in the northeast of Abidjan, Abobobole has been awarded the 2018 African Prize for the promotion of rural development and the integration of peoples.
Africa Day. They spend the day cleaning up the coastline and raising awareness on marine conservation. Plastic waste is a growing environmental concern, particularly
by cleaning up Monwabisi Beach in South Africa.
Stuff and foily stuff.
This year's theme is A Healthy Lifestyle Prolongs Life.
Like what I'm doing today is cleaning up the ocean so that it's safer for children to play and it's cleaner for the ocean and so that most sea life.
And when you just look across the beach, it looks pretty nice, pristine, quite nice. It's not. It's deep, deep litter underneath the sand. People have pulled up.
Campaigners like McLellan are helping South Africans consider the impact of plastic. She encourages the public to bring their own reusable bags when shopping.
Big international report that's come out, the Intergovernmental Panel on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, and that's been an international review of what's been published, and the things that they've come to show is that our natural systems have declined by 47%. Truly scary figure.
And countries are leading the way on limiting plastic usage. Kenya, Rwanda and Morocco have a total ban on single-use plastic bags. But plastic is only part of the...
Putting into our water systems, into our soils and the air over all these decades of industrialization. So the air is at an all-time low, are in fact very damaging for the biodiversity on which it also relies. And then, of course, plastics are a huge problem, particularly in the ocean. They're really finding their way.
Hopefully, as more governments and citizens take action against pollution and plastic waste, the world will be able to turn the tide on environmental degradation.
Zamalek aim to overturn the first leg loss as they host the Moroccan side Berkane in the second leg. We start with the Confederations Cup. For the Confederation Cup second leg final, Zamalek are in search of their first title and consequently end a 16-year wait for success on the continent, however aware of the final match pressure and are mentally prepared.
This is a very important point. There is no replay, so we have to perform. I know it's not only a game for their business card, but they are playing also for their country, and it makes it special.
The first leg, thank God, was in our favor, yet the title will be determined by Sunday's match. Honestly, we're facing one of the biggest African teams, so the pressure is not on us.
Valencia shocked Barcelona 2-1 to claim the Copa del Rey.